afternoon with a high of 80. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
From local sports to national newsmakers, this is the show everybody is talking about. Live from the Granite State, it's Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Good morning and welcome to the Mike and the Hoss Show, powered by the Yum Yum Shop. Mike Dene, Charlie Hossack, J-Dog back in studio. How's everybody this morning? We kind of have a different look here because the rooms were messed around. If you're catching us on Facebook Live, we have a little different backgrounds, but
we do. I was trying to create a little ambiance. Behind my large head is a fake plant, so I was like, "Oh, I'll put that in. That'll create some ambiance for our Facebook and YouTube Live. People that are watching us." But I don't know. I don't know if it's
the sports world is ramping up, and we figured that was going to happen as soon as the football thing started,
Yes.
The NFL started, and you feel the momentum and the energy, and it's weird how dominant football is. The NFL is in, and we talk about it a lot. We talk about it that they figured it out. They're relevant 12 months a year. And so when their seasons actually start and training camp actually starts, it's like this juggernaut of news that comes through.
Do you think?
And every team is doing every team has it. It's not just the league itself. It's
every team. But do you think it has to do with obviously they play fewer games than any of the other professional leagues. So you kind of have it's one of those, we've talked about this before, Mike, where like if your team wins, you're kind of riding a high for and then if your team loses, you've got an entire week, maybe less if they play on Thursday or whatever, but you're just like down in the dumps for multiple days. Where a game like baseball, like the Red Sox, great, they won last night, they lose today, whatever. They'll pick it back up tomorrow. It's just, you can kind of go up and down, and you're not as invested in the product. But you're right, and a loss in football has certainly a more significant impact than
it's like 7 games in baseball. I mean, it's pretty significant. But we're high on the Patriots, we're high on Vrabel and all that kind of stuff. And we're like, oh, this is the year we're going to win 12 games, whatever.
Yeah.
So is every other team. There aren't a lot of fan bases out there that are like, oh, we suck, we're not going to do anything. Everybody's 30 out of the 32 teams. It's just this media blitz of local news that comes out of these teams, and it's like propaganda that comes out to get you to buy into their team. And it's glass half full across the league. Every
team's going to the Super Bowl. Like they're gonna have all the teams there.
Yeah. Only 2 can play, but 32 all think they've got an absolute shot after give it 3 or 4 weeks, and then the cream essentially rises to the top. But the fallacy that they're all in it come, early August is something you don't see anywhere else.
Well, in the movie Major League you did, and I think about those guys in the bar. This is the year we're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
They just won 60 games the year before. So it's
one of the things I want to look at too when we talk more football later in the show. I want to look at artificial intelligence, AI. So AI, and I played around with this because it's kind of fun. I wanted the predictions of every Patriots game. I wanted a score prediction. I wanted the season total, and it's absolutely amazing. But a little bit kind of scares me. Like, what if this is actually accurate? So, we'll have that in our notes to be able to see, and we can look back at the end of the season. Did AI, pick it correctly or close?
Madden's been doing that for a few years now. Madden does pretty well with that, so. Anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit because I'm with you, Charlie. I find that to be interesting, and I'm curious in what the Chat GDP spit out for us. I don't know. You use that one, you use Copilot, or the 15 other AI things out there. The whole AI thing's pretty weird.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's like, what algorithms do they use, and what do they know that we don't know? And I don't know. It's just it's interesting. Yeah.
All right, Mike and the Hoss is powered by the Yum Yum Shop, located in the heart of downtown Wolfboro, and can be found on the Pulse of New Hampshire radio stations and all over the world on the Pulse of New Hampshire app. You can always catch up and listen to our previous shows on the Pulse Podcast Network, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. The Yum Yum Shop has over 100 varieties of fresh baked goods, including 6 different types of bread and a full-service ice cream bar, and of course, their most famous item, the gingerbread cookie. Make sure to visit the Yum Yum Shop the next time you're in Wolfboro or online at yumyumshop.com. While you're there, enter the discount code of Mike and the Hoss to receive 20% 20% off a Gingy Box. You can join our conversation, 603-228-2080, 603-228-2080. I was at a get-together last night, and it was a coaches meeting, Charlie. You know what that's about. Yum Yum Shop carrot, it was a birthday, carrot cake. Oh, my God, it was so good.
Goodness. Oh,
and I'm not a big carrot cake person, but they just made it good.
Oh, that's good.
All right, opening takes brought to you by the Back Bay Boathouse,
where you can enjoy delicious food and drinks right next to the lake. Don't forget to order their $5 Mike in the Hoss penalty box during happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. And this would be a great weekend to head out on their deck. It's kind of a fallish feel, but it's just such a beautiful weekend.
Not for long. It's going to be midsummer. It's starting tomorrow again.
Yeah, there you go.
Before we start, thank you for our live broadcast on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, brought to you by the Heinz Group of Philadelphia and London. All right, me or you, Charlie?
You, Mike. Why don't we? I want to talk to you, and it's interesting. So we should put a little disclaimer here, and Dog talks about this all the time. Dog and his buddy CJ have a show called Bet This, and we are actually going to be talking specifically about sports betting and how we feel. So, Dog, man, I know you got a show, but we're going to want your opinion and how you feel all about this.
So we have our show in the middle of the week, Overtime with Mike and the Hoss, and we delved into what happened in Cleveland with the pitchers and the prop betting that was happening based on the pitches that were happening. And so I'm kind of expanding on that because we had mentioned this on Wednesday, that the presence of DraftKings and FanDuel and Caesars Betting Sportsbook and all these places that are not just legal sports betting is not just there. They have actual partnerships with these professional leagues and teams where the sports books are going into the stadiums. I remember it wasn't too long ago where Vegas didn't have any professional teams. Atlantic City didn't have any professional teams.
Right.
Ocean City, all those legal, those places where gambling was legal, did not have professional teams because leagues did not want the presence of gambling with their teams. They intentionally stayed away from these cities because of the presence of gambling. And that has completely changed now, because not only is betting legal everywhere, which is fine. I'm not against legal betting. I have a problem with the presence and the partnerships that DraftKings and FanDuels and so on not only have with the leagues, but have with specific teams. There's stadiums that are named after DraftKings. A lot of stadiums, and a lot of our local ones, the New England Patriots, the Boston Celtics, have direct partnerships with DraftKings where there are sports books going inside the stadiums themselves.
Yes.
And it's too much. And I'm not a big government person in terms of them getting involved with this sort of thing. But I think we're going to see what happened in Cleveland with the two pitchers, Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen more and more because that presence is there. And I'm not a little worried. I'm very worried about it, that it's not just too close. It's actually intertwined with these teams where they have DraftKings on their shirts or DraftKings on the bench, and water bottles are DraftKings. Right. And the expectations that they're not going to make mistakes is probably unrealistic for these players, because it's just being in front of them all the time. And the more people that are betting, the more people that are going to figure out that, they can be a direct influence to what's happening in the game. Mm-hmm. On another note, prop betting, the one instant prop betting that's got to leave sports, period. Yeah. There's the case that happens with the pitchers where there was a rise in betting, and we talked about this Wednesday. There's a rise in betting. They're tracking this data, and they see, wow, the first pitch of the third inning is getting a lot of play, more than it usually does. Right. And sure enough, the pitcher that all the money is on, and I say this in jest, but throws the ball into the dugout. And this happens, a couple times. Being able to bet on one singular instance that is controllable by one person is too much. Mm-hmm. If a guy fixes a game, and we've seen this, over time, the kids that are in college and they fix these games, there's a long track. There's a thing that they have to do throughout the game, and it's because much more difficult. If a ref fixes a game, it's a track out throughout the whole game. It's not one instance where you could just make one pitch,
One
throw
pitch,
the
yeah.
ball, and that's it. It's too much influence can happen, and I think there needs to be some sort of a separation between legal sports betting and professional sports. It's too much together. Thoughts?
Mike, you made a comment during overtime last week, and it really got me thinking the past couple of days. You gave just a scenario. It's fictional, but there's a lot of truth to it. Where a pitcher, and I think you used the example of a pitcher that may have been from the Dominican who's got a cousin or something who's in over their head in debt, and says, hey, if I put X amount of money that you'll throw a ball, the second pitch of the fifth inning, then I can be out of debt completely. And this is one way that, he can help his cousin out, help his family out. And it doesn't really impact the game, but man, it's such a tempting thing for that pitcher to do. And then it's just something that it doesn't belong. It certainly doesn't belong in the game. And I understand wanting to help out your family, but that's not the way you do it. And we're going to see more and more of this. I think with the prop bets.
It's too easy.
Yeah.
It's too easy to do it when a pitcher is in complete control, not influenced by anything else on what they do on the mound for that particular pitch.
Right.
And to your point, Charlie, it doesn't necessarily have massive impact in the game.
No.
But for that, they can get their cousin completely out of debt. I mean, it's going to happen to some kid that's from Chicago, too.
Sure,
it's not,
of
it doesn't have to be the Dominican or anything else. It could happen anywhere. But the
Yeah.
pitcher is in complete control. It's not like, running back, they're going to bet that he's going to run for 10 yards. There are things that have to happen that allow that the defense has to be on the same page and so on.
The block in front of them. Yeah.
Right. But the pitcher it's too much. They got to get rid of these prop bets for the pitchers. It's too easy, influential. And it's probably, besides the data tracking that they do on the betting, it's pretty hard a pitcher throws a strike maybe 60, 70% of the time. They're throwing 40% balls. They throw 120 pitches, 110 pitches. They're throwing, 50 balls, give or take. If money was on one of them, how would you really know?
Yeah, it's true. Doug, what are your thoughts? You're a bet guy.
Even though I don't bet, I'm on a betting show. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew we were in a little bit of trouble in the 2016 when, if you remember, during NFL season, during commercial break, you were being inundated, i.e. having things shoved down your throat from DraftKings and FanDuel, because that opened up the floodgates for certain states, as the Supreme Court was looking at one of the cases of, is sports gambling, should it be allowed, that kind of thing. And that's opened up the floodgates to a lot of states all of a sudden, like Florida, well, not Florida, but I guess, some like Georgia, Alabama, this, that, and the other, other than Nevada, to have sports betting. And sure enough, the partnerships that the NFL would have with DraftKings and FanDuel would go to other sports like baseball, like basketball, like hockey. All we hear about now, guys, the two sports we hear about when it comes to the gambling scandal now is baseball and basketball. Jonte Porter, didn't he get banned from the NBA of the Toronto Raptors for betting on basketball?
Right.
Yeah. And in basketball, you can make bets on 3-point attempts. And so for Steph Curry, that's a controllable thing by Steph Curry. He's going to say, geez, the over-under's 8. I can do 8. And you wouldn't even notice that if he was intentionally doing that based on the line. Mm-hmm. You got to get rid of that kind of stuff. It's too easy, manipulated, and somebody's got to get involved to do it.
Well, what about this one other thing too? You mentioned this with having access to these sports books inside of stadiums. I have a problem with that. I'm not anti-betting by any means, and sports books have a place, but it's just like you're bringing it into the actual stadium. I've got a problem with that.
I think it's unnecessary. It's just, you have it on your phones. I don't understand why you have to have the book inside the stadium on top of that, where you're standing in line with paper like in the olden days. It just doesn't seem, it's just, gambling is not necessarily pure. There's still a seedy element to gambling.
Yes.
And it needs to stay in the shadows. And I think we said this a couple of years ago. Parts of gambling still needs to stay in the shadows. and not just next to the concession where you can get a hot dog and then you can go drop a dime on something. You got to have a little bit of difficulty to make the bets, a little bit.
Right.
And
I
it's
understand,
just too easy.
what, for example, March Madness. I've spent many a March Madness down at Foxwoods, right? And you just it's fun. Like, you bet on the game. I'm not doing prop bets, but I want Kentucky to win, whatever, this game against whoever. And you sit there and, maybe getting a meal or having a drink, and that's fun. You're kind of invested in the game. And I understand the entertainment aspect, but boy, when you start getting into these prop bets and the nitty gritty, and you can quickly, you can obviously lose your life savings, but at the same time, impact it oftentimes in a negative way.
Yeah. We're way over, Charlie, but I want to get to the poll question because we're going to talk about this for the poll question this week. Dog, let's do this week's this coming week's poll question, and then we'll go to break.
Okay. You want results from last week though, or no?
We'll get to last week's later.
Okay, I got you. Okay. All right. So should the sports leagues essentially be associated with gambling with sports betting companies? Yes or no?
All right. And we're talking like specific partnerships that they have right now.
Should the major sports leagues in America be associated with these betting companies? Yes.
All right. No? Well, sounds good. We'll be right back.
Your home for news, talk, and information. This is 107.7 WTPL, the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Hey, Dr. Brooke, did you hear the big news? I sure did. Crossroads Chiropractic was voted best chiropractor in the capital area. And we were voted best in the Lakes region, too. I wonder if we'll win best in the 603 in September. Then it would be a trifecta. Either way, we're honored and so grateful, especially to all the busy parents and families who trust us to help keep them healthy and active. Absolutely. It's a reflection of the care, results, and trust we strive for every single day. Whether it's tech neck, back pain from carrying the kids, or stress from juggling it all, we get it. We help moms, dads, and even little ones feel and function at their best. To celebrate, we've got a new patient special, just $59 for a full consultation, exam, and includes any necessary x-rays. If your body's been on the back burner while you're raising your family, this is your sign to take care of you. Come see us at Crossroads Chiropractic in Pembroke, Bedford, Meredith, and Epping. Call 603-575-9080 or visit crossroadschiropractic.com.
Scott Lawson of the Lawson Group on standard operating procedures.
You should have standard operating procedures for any task, job, piece of equipment, machinery that you work on. And part of that standard operating procedure should be the safety requirements. And the safety requirements don't mean personal protective equipment and guards. It should be the training and education and tools that are required to make the product safely. And I always try to draw the conclusion for companies when we talk about this stuff to say, you don't do it for the name of safety. You do it for safety, productivity, and quality. Because all the behaviors that it takes to produce a lot of stuff with high quality are the same behaviors it takes to do it safely. Most companies just don't work that way.
So while I have you, do you have any quick kind of advice?
Think it through. You do it right the first time. You don't create a lot of scrap. You don't create a lot of waste. You're very efficient with what you do.
For workplace safety information on everything from indoor air quality and hazardous materials management to noise exposure, wellness consulting, and workman's comp, it's the Lawson Group. Go to thelawsongroup.com.
Looking for some fun? Welcome to Fun Spot, the largest arcade in the world, right here in the Lakes region of New Hampshire. With over 600 classic and modern arcade games, Fun Spot has all your favorites, from Pac-Man and Skee-Ball to today's hottest games. Pinball fan, check out their sci-fi themed pinball outpost, packed with vintage and new machines. Try bowling at the 20-lane bowling center, take on the 18-hole indoor mini golf course, or check out kiddie rides and games perfect for the little ones. Win big in Prizeland by redeeming your tickets for awesome prizes. And don't forget Cash Bingo every Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hungry? Grab a bite at the Brag and Dragon restaurant or unwind in the tavern with a craft beer, a game of pool, or the game on the big screen. Head to Fun Spot, the largest arcade in the world. Open every day. Go to funspotnh.com for more info.
Oh, when you see all the fun we've got, Fun Spot.
Coming up at noon, we talk tech with Kim Commando. In the meantime, we're back to Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire. Mike and the Hoss on the radio waves. Teachers by day, coaches making plays. Sports talking kings of Wolfboro Town. Husband, fathers, where heroes are found.
603-228-2080. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to talk about some New Hampshire sports right now. Charlie?
We are. New Hampshire Sports is brought to you by Bailey's Bubble. Family-owned and operated Bailey's Bubble in downtown Wolfboro serves the finest ice cream in the state May through October. If you can't make it to Wolfboro for ice cream, you can still order their hot fudge, panucci, and butterscotch sauces at baileysbubble.com. My favorite is their homemade hot fudge. When placing your order, don't forget to tell them that Mike and the Hoss sent you. All right, so today, actually in about 5 minutes, there's going to be a football game being played in the great state of Vermont with some of the best athletes from New Hampshire and, of course, Vermont. It's the 72nd annual Shrine Maple Sugar Bowl game. It's today. It's at Vermont State University in Castleton, Vermont. The Shrine Maple Sugar Bowl football game is played between two all-star teams of graduated high school seniors from Vermont and New Hampshire. It's one of the 30 Shrine games played every year across the country. Their motto is "Strong legs run, that weak legs may walk." It's played every summer. It's 80 young men from New Hampshire and Vermont. They play their hearts out for the benefit of children in the Shrine facilities. And when they step off the field at game's end, they become alumni and never forget the children that they played for. And for those that aren't familiar, the Shriners Hospitals provide care for children up to the age of 18 with special health care needs and conduct research to discover new knowledge that improves the quality of care and the quality of life of the children and their families. I've been up there to see it. It's an awesome atmosphere. We have some local players, Mike, that are playing in it, and you've got a lot of good football players from across the state of New Hampshire playing in it. And many of these kiddos that just graduated from high school are going on to play in the next level at college. A lot of them actually stay right here in New Hampshire playing at schools such as Keene State and Plymouth State. So wishing them great luck today. It's really it's great for them because they go up there and they spend, a week to 10 days, obviously putting in some basic offenses and defense practices, but they get to actually interact with some of the kids that benefits and that they're going to benefit through this. They raise money, of course, and it's just a lot of fun, great atmosphere, a lot of camaraderie. The New Hampshire kids and the Vermont kids build really essentially lifelong relationships where you can say, oh yeah, I played in the Shrine, the annual Shrine Maple Sugar Bowl. So it's good stuff for a good cause, and it's happening today in a few minutes. If you do want to watch it, you can live stream it after our show, and you can watch some pretty good football.
Awesome. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Charlie, I know we didn't get to it in opening takes, but you wanted to talk about the Venezuelan Little League.
I did,
and I think I think that story has growing, especially with the Little League World Series. This is about the Senior Little League World Series, but with the other Little League World Series coming, you wonder if there's going to be other issues.
Yeah, there is. So this, I'm sure a lot of people, even if you're not a sports fan, you've heard of this, the Venezuelan Little League team. They were going to play, as you said, Mike, in the Senior League Baseball World Series, which happens to be in South Carolina. This team is composed of 13 to 16-year-olds, and they had qualified for the Latin American Championship. They qualified when they played down in Mexico. What happened was the United States denied their visas, and the reason for this is that certain countries are on the list where visas are denied, and Venezuela, sadly, is one of them. And the reason is citing national security concerns. The teams traveled all over. They were in Colombia. They went to the U.S. Embassy to apply for visas, and they were obviously denied these visas based on current policies. Little League International came out and said that obviously the situation is extremely disappointing, especially for these young athletes. Now, here's the deal. I don't want to get into a ton of politics. These are kids. They're playing baseball. They should be able to come into the great nation of the United States and play in the Senior League World Series and representing Latin America. I have no problem with that. They're not a security concern. Maybe if you want to vet their coaches, who I don't think are probably security concerns either, this is about baseball. And these kiddos, they're children. They're minors, were denied the opportunity to play in the Little League Senior World Series, which I just think is terrible. So we're taking policies, and I'm not anti-policies for certain things, but this is a situation where it's not you, Mike, who's trying to come into the country and from Venezuela. It's not me who's trying to come into the United States from Venezuela. It's kids, and kids are being it's really the rug's being ripped out from under them, and they're not able to participate in something that is wholesome and good. And actually, you know what? Baseball's really good for bringing together people of all nationalities, different opinions, political, religious, it doesn't matter. Baseball is kind of that great equalizer where they come together and they have a love for baseball and get to share their culture. And I think this is a shame.
I don't want to go waist deep into the politics, but I will go ankle deep.
Okay.
I mean, he said he was going to do this, Charlie. He ran on these platforms that this was going to happen. So I don't know why anybody's all that surprised and offended that this is happening, because he said he was going to do this. And these policies, he didn't make secret that he was going to target countries and say, no, we don't want anybody from your country coming over here. Yeah. So again, I'm not going waist deep, but I am going to go ankle deep that this is what the consequence of the election was in November. And whether you're Republican or Democrat, he said he was going to do this, and you voted for this. You voted for this if you voted for it, and you shouldn't be surprised and offended that this happened. So
it's interesting, you're making that point, and I don't actually disagree with that. What I do disagree with is that, I mean, I guess I live in a world of gray. All right, I'm not a black and white guy, you know that, and it probably gets me in trouble more than living in a black and white world. Gray. We're talking about kids that are playing baseball. I mean, they're not coming here because they want to try to get a job. They're not coming here to try to go to university. They're not coming here to come on a vacation to visit the White House. All right.
It's absurd, Charlie. It's absolutely absurd. And it's sending a really bad message to those kids.
Yeah.
But again, he didn't make secret that he wasn't going to do this. You just had to connect the dots to realize that it was going to affect things that are happening in August with the kids. If you put a blanket over Venezuela and say, no, we don't accept your visas, then that's going to affect the Venezuelan Little League baseball team at some point. We don't know they haven't played yet because we don't know what countries or what the winning for those international teams are going to be coming this way. We don't know that yet, but there's a good chance that this is going to happen again. There's a good chance. There's a lot of countries on this list, and
of course, absolutely.
And it's sad. It's just sad. But I have a problem with people that voted that way that are up in arms about it. He said he was going to do this. He said it. We didn't make a secret. He said he was going to do this, and he did it. So. I think it's terrible. It's a bad decision. It's a horrible decision that is affecting the kids, and it's Little League World Series, senior or not, is a positive experience. It's a feel-good experience. You don't see much negativity coming out besides 15-year-olds playing it occasionally with the 12-year-olds. But you really don't see generally the negative things coming out. I think everybody's on their best behavior. You see how positive the coaches are. There's a good message that is sent with the Little League World Series because it's televised and all that stuff.
Yeah, and you take a look at it. I mean, we're baseball fans, and we like to watch the Little League World Series, and we're gonna cheer for a U.S. team, and we're gonna cheer for an international team.
Yeah,
and we're going all in, and we want whatever team we like, and we like the stories, and we like the interviews, and we like the fact that the entire world comes together. The entire world, Mike, comes together for Little League baseball. And we're not going to get that this year. We're only going to get part of the world. Dog, you want to say something?
League World Series is the actual real World Series. If you think about it, the Little League World Series, 12 and 13-year-old kids is the actual, because there's international aspect of it. You actually don't get that in baseball unless, of course, you're playing the Toronto Blue Jays, who have not been in the World Series since I was 10 years old, but that's besides the point. It's the actual legit World Series.
Yeah, it's politics affecting sports, and this is. I mean, now we're getting in name changes with the Washington Commanders. That things are getting, it's affecting theirs. What's that?
I don't think whether. Go ahead, Dog. You said
not happen. They're going to stay the Commanders. They're going to stay the Guardians.
I don't have an opinion, or at least I don't have an opinion that I'm going to share on air right now about the Guardians or a name change or the Commanders or any of that stuff. But from a financial point of view, I can't imagine like having to rebrand again to pick another name or to go back to the old name and all of the money that's involved. I don't think it's going to
Funny,
happen.
Washington, to your point, though, guys, I know we got to take the break. When Josh Harris and Magic Johnson bought the Commanders, there was talk of that changing the name again to something else, to like the Generals or something. I'm like, no, stop.
The
Enough.
Generals, yeah.
You've been 3 names in 5 years. Stop it.
Yeah, but
Well,
it's
changing.
there's more
It's
swag
interesting.
they can sell too. Every
I
time
mean,
they
they're
change the
changing.
name, it's more swag.
Yeah. They are
We're-
changing. Sorry, Mike. They're changing. I know it's not sports related, but they're changing back some of the old Army bases back to their original names. So maybe, I don't know. So maybe it might happen. Who knows?
Politics, there are things that politics can get involved with sports. I thought the steroid stuff, I thought that was an important thing to get involved with, to get to the bottom of that.
Yeah. But did they? I don't. The sad thing is, I don't know if they actually got to the bottom.
I don't
of the
know. I mean,
steroid stuff.
it exposed
Right,
it at
yeah.
least. It exposed it. I think they should get involved with gambling. I think there needs to be, and I
Yeah.
said that earlier, I think there should be involved with gambling. That's pretty much where I draw the line. That's about it. It stops there. So anyway, all right, we'll be right back.
107.7 WTPL, the pulse of New Hampshire.
We're here talking with Bill from Genrose Stone and Tile of Pembroke and Merrimack. Bill, 36 years is a long time. You guys are doing something right.
Well, I think we're doing a few things right. Starts with quality employees, quality products, and then service to customers. And you can go pretty far in this industry.
Have things changed that much?
Things are changing with tile constantly. They're getting bigger. Bigger the tile, the less the grout joints. Stone looks are so realistic these days that people think it's real marble or it's real limestone.
Yeah, I've been by the showroom. You are not kidding.
Yeah, all the factories are coming a long ways with technology, and we carry all the leading manufacturers. We have all the waterproofing you can need, all the different brands, whether you're a homeowner, tile installer, or a designer. We could set you up to do the whole job from start to finish.
Okay, Bill, the easy part. Where do they got to go?
Well, the original at 95 Sheep Davis Road in Pembroke, New Hampshire, then 714 Daniel Webster Highway in Merrimack. And if you're in the North Country, you can stop in Intervale at Milford Flooring, our sister company, or simply go to genrose.com.
Attention homeowners. Do you have missing, torn, or curled shingles, or maybe finding pieces of shingles on the ground? These are signs that your roof may need replacement. Your roof is key to your investment of your home, so you are going to want a reliable and experienced roofing company to install a new roof. You are going to want New Heights Roofing. Don't let the tough New Hampshire weather take further toll on your roof. Protect your home with a new roof before it leaks with New Heights Roofing. New Heights Roofing is fully insured, giving you peace of mind knowing that your home is in good hands. New Heights Roofing serves the greater Concord area and even provides full financing. Whether you need a new asphalt shingle or even a sleek metal roof, they have the skill and professionalism and are certified in installing high-quality shingles from GAF, ensuring durability and longevity. New Heights Roofing also installs metal roofing, windows, and vinyl siding. Don't risk your home with a compromised roof. Schedule your free consultation today at newheightsroofingnh.com. New Heights Roofing, taking your home to new heights.
Hi, I'm Colonel Mark Hall of the New Hampshire State Police. Tune in every Thursday morning at 9:20 for your New Hampshire State Police segment on Good Morning New Hampshire with Jack on the Pulse of New Hampshire to learn about what we do for public safety in New Hampshire.
Jason LaCroix here from AutoFair. Our team is proud to sponsor your New Hampshire State Police segment on Good Morning New Hampshire. We believe it is important for the community to know more about the men and women who work on the front lines of public safety. Tune in each Thursday morning at 9:20 for your New Hampshire State Police segment brought to you by the team at AutoFair.
20 ribeyes for $39.
The Backyard Butchers are here right now with 20 ribeye steaks for only $39. That's less than $2 a steak. Just look for the big red truck in the parking lot right now at Tire Warehouse in Hillsboro. Stock up and save on bulk meat specials. 20 ribeyes for $39. Just look for the big red truck in the parking lot right now at the Tire Warehouse, 288 West Main Street in Hillsboro. And for a limited time, get 2 pounds of crab legs for $39. Cash, credit, debit, and EBT accepted. BackyardButchers.com.
Get in touch with the show anytime at thepulseofnh.com and on the free to download Pulse of NH app. Now, back to Mike and the Haas on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Mike and the Haas on the radio waves. Teachers by day, coaches making plays.
All right, it's trivia time, 603-228-2080. Charlie, you got a good one today. I'm excited to see if we get some phone calls, 603-228-2080.
All right. Thanks for the compliment, Mike. Today's trivia is sponsored by Lucas Roasting Company. Lucas Roasting Company, located on King Street in beautiful Back Bay, Wolfboro. They serve delicious coffee, tea, espresso, and lattes. Lucas Roasting was voted the best coffee in New Hampshire in 2020, 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. They even roast their own coffee inside their cafe. Lucas Roasting offers over 40 different single origins and blends of coffee. Lucas Roasting can handle personal and large business orders. Stop by their cafe on King Street in Wolfboro, or order online to have coffee shipped right to your door. The cafe is open Wednesday through Saturday from 7 to 3, or visit lucasroasting.com anytime. Today, you're going to have a chance to win a $20 gift card to Lucas Roasting Company. The number you need is 603-228-2080. That's 603-228-2080. Which team defeated the New England Patriots 46-10 in Super Bowl 20? Once again, which team defeated the New England Patriots 46-10 in Super Bowl 20? That was in January 1986. If you know, 603-228-2080. That's 603-228-2080 for a chance to win a $20 gift card to Lucas Roasting Company.
All right, let's talk Red Sox. Big win last night. We're going to see if they can get their fourth in a row today. Pregame 3:10, first pitch 4:10. Did you watch last night? Did you watch the game last night? That was a good win. That's a solid against Houston. They're playing pretty good. They got to the trade deadline on Thursday, and they didn't do anything, which happened to be the topic of our poll question last week. What were the results? What did the fans out there think? Were the Red Sox going to do anything? I think I know what they thought.
So last week on X, guys, will the Red Sox be buyers or sellers? The deadline on Thursday, and on X, 69.6% said they would be buyers, as opposed to 30.4% sellers. Now on Facebook, you had everything from standing pat, which we didn't have as an option, to buyers and sellers. So I'd probably say it was about probably 60% buyers and probably about 20% sellers, with about 10% standing pat.
This is the third or fourth year in a row that they've gotten to the trade deadline, and they're in a better position now than they have been. They've been within reach, but they're fully entrenched in a wild card position right now, and they haven't done anything notable, which is people are not believing in John Henry. They're not believing in John Henry.
Not only are they in a wild card race, they have the opportunity to win the AL East. So, they're 4 games back. Like, it's within striking distance.
Yeah.
So, but you're right. So as far as the Red Sox trade deadline, they made 2. That's 1-2 acquisitions, and they ended up with Steve Matz. Steve Matz is a left-handed pitcher acquired from the St. Louis Cardinals, and they sent minor league infielder Blaze Jordan. And he's probably, Matz is going to end up just being a reliever, which is what he'll do. And then Dustin May, he's a right-handed starter acquired from the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the Red Sox gave up outfield prospects James Tibbs and Zach Erhard. And then May will obviously help out, hopefully, with the starting rotation. But who knows? He's been injured so much time.
Yeah, at best he's going to be, Crochet, they're extending him. He's not pitching again until Monday, I believe. So they're giving him a few extra days. That's a topic for concern, but hopefully we're going to believe the Red Sox are just managing his workload right now. And so you're going to see May be that 6th starter. So, can't get too excited about that they got a 6th starter. And then as far as Matz, he's going to be a multiple inning reliever somewhere in the middle of the game. Probably if they're losing and they need somebody to cover some innings. You can't get very excited about what the Red Sox did. And it came down to a lot of teams wanted Duran, and they didn't want to give up Duran. They didn't want to give up Duran, and they didn't want to give up their number 1 pitching prospect. They were willing to. Blaze Jordan was a 3rd-round pick. A lot of hype around Blaze Jordan coming out of high school with 500+ foot home runs and that kind of stuff in his name. But he really wasn't doing much in the minor league, so that wasn't a big give for the Red Sox. They didn't want to give up their prospects. They didn't want to give up controllable assets, and it ultimately comes down to money. Now, the hope was that they were going to take that Devers money, the roughly $20 million this year, and $240 million over the and use it, but they already used it. They used it on Crochet. They used it on Christian Campbell. They've already used that money. John Henry wanted to get out from underneath that contract before this all thing happened. He didn't believe in Devers, and he didn't like paying a guy that much money. He didn't like owing a guy $240 million that he didn't believe in, and it's a problem. Red Sox ownership does not want to invest in the team.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen with Bregman? I mean, they haven't extended Bregman. So
my guess, gone.
Yeah,
my guess is gone. He's not going to want to, unless Bregman does something at around 30 for 5 or something like that, which I doubt he will, because he's going to get 30 for 8 from somebody. He's a really good player, and he's also an incredible clubhouse guy. All you've been hearing out of Fenway is that he could manage the team right now. Right. So, I mean, he seems more valuable than just he's batting over 300. He plays a Gold Glove third base, but he's also a Gold Glove in the dugout. And you're hearing the young guys. Anthony talked about it last night. He got the game-winning hit last night in the 10th, and when he went down there, he talked about Bregman, and we've heard Rafaela talk about Bregman. We heard Meyer talk about Bregman. These guys love the guy, and he's coaching them. He's leading them. He's the captain of the team, but they're not going to want to pay him. They're just not going to want to pay him. So it's
the one silver lining, as you said. Well, there's two silver linings. The Red Sox are still in the hunt. You got 51 games left in the season. They've got a chance to win the AL East, but they also have a wild card spot right now. And then the San Francisco Giants, who I actually do like, are the worst team in baseball since acquiring Rafael Devers. So I guess that was a good move by the Red Sox.
Yeah, I mean, based on that, I don't have I'm not complaining about the Devers being gone. I'm complaining that everybody around the Red Sox right now got better. The Yankees got better. The Blue Jays got better. Yes. Seattle got a lot better. And Texas got a lot better. These are the teams that the Red Sox are competing with for the wild card of the division, and they're the team. It seems there to be a lot fewer teams than in years past clumped at that wild card that have a chance. We know that the Guardians gave away some players, but they didn't give away everybody like you thought they were gonna.
Right.
No, Shane Bieber. Beebs goes to Toronto, which means there could be a rehab start for him in New Hampshire. I don't know about that. Also, Paul Sewald to the Tigers, but they did not trade Steve Kwan, so they're in it. The Guardians, they're pulling a Tigers from last year where they gave away a pitcher, they Flaherty to LA, and they gave another reliever to another team, but they were able to make it as a wild card. So I think they're going by that mantra, and they won last night against the Twins in extra innings. The Twins, guys, wow. Wow. They blew it up in 2025 and beyond.
Yes.
Yeah. Charlie, what's the poll? What's the trivia question one more time before we go to break?
Sure. For your chance to win a $20 gift card to Lucas Roasting Company, which team defeated the New England Patriots 46-10 in Super Bowl 20, which was in January of 1986? If you know who that team was, 603-228-2080, 603-228-2080 for a chance to win a $20 gift card to Lucas Roasting Company.
All right, we'll be right back.
This is the Pulse of New Hampshire, 107.7 WTPL.
Are you in need of a reliable and trustworthy auto repair shop? Look no further than Pellerin Motorsports, located at 219 Pembroke Street in Pembroke. Meet Brandon and Ryan, your expert mechanics, who are dedicated to providing honest and reliable service to all their customers.
Hey, it's Ryan from Pellerin Motorsports. And I'm Brandon. At Pellerin Motorsports, we believe in doing things the right way the first time. We're not going to try to sell you unnecessary repairs or try to upsell you on services you don't need. Your trust means everything to us.
That's right. We treat every vehicle like it's our own. No, we are committed to fixing your vehicle right the first time. We've got the knowledge and expertise to tackle any problem that comes our way.
And we also know how important your family safety is to you. That's why we go above and beyond to make sure your vehicle is reliable and safe.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the repairs. When you drive into Pellerin Motorsports, you become part of our automotive family.
So listen, if you're tired of being taken advantage of, come down to Pellerin Motorsports. We're waiting to take care of all your automotive needs.
Give us a call at 210-1637.
Hey, Dr. Brooke, did you hear the big news? I sure did. Crossroads Chiropractic was voted best chiropractor in the capital area. And we were voted best in the Lakes region, too. I wonder if we'll win best in the 603 in September. Then it would be a trifecta. Either way, we're honored and so grateful, especially to all the busy parents and families who trust us to help keep them healthy and active. Absolutely. It's a reflection of the care, results, and trust we strive for every single day. Whether it's tech neck, back pain from carrying the kids, or stress from juggling it all, we get it. We help moms, dads, and even little ones feel and function at their best. To celebrate, we've got a new patient special, just $59 for a full consultation, exam, and includes any necessary x-rays. If your body's been on the back burner while you're raising your family, this is your sign to take care of you. Come see us at Crossroads Chiropractic in Pembroke, Bedford, Meredith, and Epping. Call 603-575-9080 or visit crossroadschiropractic.com.
Hi, I'm Colonel Mark Hall of the New Hampshire State Police. Tune in every Thursday morning at 9:20 for your New Hampshire State Police segment on Good Morning New Hampshire with Jack on the Pulse of New Hampshire to learn about what we do for public safety in New Hampshire.
Jason LaCroix here from AutoFair. Our team is proud to sponsor your New Hampshire State Police segment on Good Morning New Hampshire. We believe it is important for the community to know more about the men and women who work on the front lines of public safety. Tune in each Thursday morning at 9:20 for your New Hampshire State Police segment brought to you by the team at AutoFair.
Did you know that poisoning from toxic lead fishing tackle is the #1 killer of adult New Hampshire loons? To protect loons, the Loon Preservation Committee, New Hampshire Fish and Game, and some retailers are teaming up to buy back your lead fishing tackle. For a limited time, get $20 toward loon safe tackle when you turn in your lead fishing tackle at participating locations.
For more information and participating locations, text LOON to 78,000 today. That's LOON to 78,000.
You're listening to the Granite State's own Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Mike and the Haas, sports talk classics in New England Magic, broadcast fantastic. Willsboro crew where the echoes scream. Fathers, coaches, chasing the dream.
All right, welcome back. You got a few minutes to get to us about the poll. I keep saying poll question. The trivia question, 603-228-2080. One more time, Charlie. One more time.
Yes, sir. Which team defeated the New England Patriots 46-10 in Super Bowl 20? Chance to win a $20 gift card to Lucas Roasting Company. Staying with the theme, Mike, of football, I just wanted to quickly talk about a little bit of high school football before we transition to the New England Patriots. Down in Georgia, I don't know if you guys saw this all over ESPN, it's all over social media, but the Buford Wolves football team is set to play in a brand new stadium next season. They officially opened their state-of-the-art $62 million facility this week. Buford High School is located just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. They had a ribbon-cutting ceremony to mark the grand opening. It's called the Philip Beard Stadium. The new digs, check this out, 3,500 square foot video board, 15 covered luxury suites, 2-story field house with locker rooms, and a seating capacity of 10,000. So that's a public school, baby. Buford, Georgia. They know how to build and get ready for some football down in Georgia.
God bless them.
Yeah.
Speaking of football, our New England Patriots, everything's positive coming out of Foxborough. Yes. We had mentioned at the top of the show, things are positive coming out of pretty much every camp. Do you think that the positivity is just because it seems to be more organized, that the players aren't necessarily playing better? It's just that it's more organized and there's no drama coming out of it. So therefore we're positive. It's like the Vrabel effect.
Yeah. There's less chaos. Kraft isn't upset with, well, he might be upset with Belichick, but you don't have to hear about that. You're not hearing about Tom Brady. You're not hearing about Matt Patricia. You're not hearing about, Gerard Mayo, and you just got a whole new coaching staff. I mean, I think having Josh McDaniels there, he's just whether he's good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, I think he's great. Just having him there as someone who's a known entity and is just able to kind of make people feel, myself included, like, okay, there's something. When the offense is called this year, whether the Patriots win or lose, I'm going to feel good about it.
And it's safe to say this is probably the best coaching staff they've had since the first year Mac Jones. I think first year Mac Jones, you had McDaniels, you had Belichick. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But then you had Belichick, Matt Patricia, Joe Judge. Then you had Gerard Mayo. Then you had Belichick. Oh, sorry, you had Belichick, Bill O'Brien, and that whole thing.
Yeah.
Then you had the Gerard Mayo fiasco, but this seems to be a pretty cohesive coaching group with experience. And I was just wondering that, are they playing better? Are they actually playing better, or is it just that it's you're not hearing the drama, so therefore you think that they're playing better?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
the question,
go ahead. I mean,
the question I have is that a couple guys want to have requested trades, not for the Patriots, because last year it was the Patriots guys that are requesting trade, Matthew Judon and all that kind of stuff. But Tyler McLaurin out, Terry McLaurin, sorry, out of the Commanders, and Micah Parsons from Dallas, that came up. Are those two players that the Patriots should be looking at? They have the cap space. They have plenty of cap space to sign both of them. You bring those guys in, you're an instant Super Bowl contender because you got a stud on the defense. If they have a hole on defense, it's edge rushing. Yeah. If they have a hole on offense, it's in the wide receiver position. And you're bringing in a number one wide receiver that seems to be a good fit for what you do, and you're bringing in a number one pass rusher that has. One thing. Yeah. So Parsons apparently said there's two teams that he wants to be traded to: the Las Vegas Raiders and the New England Patriots.
Yeah. But what are you giving up to get him? Yes. So the answer to your question is, Mikey, you asked a question. Yes, go after him. I'd love to have both of them. But what are you going to give up?
You're giving up like a second and a fourth, that kind of stuff. You're not giving up first rounders.
Yeah. All right.
These are disgruntled assets that these teams don't want to pay them. They don't want to give them the $100 million guaranteed, the $30 million a year. They don't want to give them that. So they're not going to be holding out for a first rounder. You get these guys for second rounders, or a second and a fourth, or a second this year and a second next year. There's that kind of stuff. It's not a first rounder that you have to worry about. Quarterbacks, you got to get into the first rounders. That stuff's different. Yes. But these guys looking for the big payday, you don't need to give up much. What you really are giving up is money. It's about the contract, because they're not going to come here unless they have a contract. So the question is, would Kraft pay two top-end talent players? If they do, they're competing for the Super Bowl. Yeah. If they don't, we don't know what they're going to have.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know. So it'll be interesting to see what Robert wants to do. I mean, I would think that he's tired of losing. I know. I mean, he won for 20 plus years. That maybe he may want to. He's getting older. This might be maybe his last shot. You never know. They
can afford him.
Run. Yeah. So
Dog wants to jump in.
Yeah.
They get Micah Parsons, right? They get him. Jerry Jones will definitely never, ever put Bob Kraft in the Hall of Fame.
That is true. That is true.
That's a good point.
It's just, I think it takes a team that we think. Oh, you wanted to mention AI. What does AI predict?
Yeah,
for
so
them?
Interesting. So if you guys have done AI, you do it for your favorite team, whatever. So I did it. I read about it, and so AI. So the NFL is predicting whatever AI they use. This is crazy that the Patriots, the current Patriots, with who they are right now, could have 10 wins, possibly 11 wins. So I said, come on.
So I did it. Charlie. It's a schedule.
Yeah, so it is. It's an easy schedule. So I did it, and I put in, and I wanted the breakdown of each game and all that stuff, and they spit it all out, and I analyzed it and read it, and it was interesting. And they gave me 11 wins. So the Patriots potentially are a playoff team this year without anyone else, without adding anybody.
Listen, the history of the league says that 32% of the teams that have 4 wins make the playoffs the following year. Over half of them get 8 or 9 wins. It's just because the parity that they set up and the schedule that they do, that if you're a last place team, you play a last place schedule, and they have it figured out, and they could figure it out over 6 games. Dog's going to wave at us in a second. So Charlie, we didn't have a winner for the trivia.
We didn't have a winner this week, but the answer to the trivia question: the Chicago Bears beat the New England Patriots 46-10 in Super Bowl 20. And Dog, you can't play it, but go ahead and Google Super Bowl Shuffle.
Hey, Red Sox at pregame at 3:10. First pitch 4:10 on the Pulse of New Hampshire. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next week.